Dave.
Joe. What's going on, buddy?
Here we are again. I'm one man down right now working on some technical stuff. That's why we got him.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you like this shirt? Like this thing?
Oh, I go throw mine on right quick.
Dude, we should have matched. We got to start matching. We can do this.
Yeah, I got a few more patches on mine. You know, I'm as big as I am. They like to take advantage of the billboard. You know.
Yeah, I see, bro. You can get all kind of sponsors on there, but
yeah, dude, they love the shit out of it.
I might have like 2 or 3, bro. I have like vector hoods.
The only thing I'm missing is a neon sign, bro. It don't blink for nothing like that. So that's the only thing missing. Billboard.
Man, so what's up, Dave? What you been up to, Dave? You seem like you're refreshed today. Look like I know you was busy, been doing a lot of work. It seems like you got some sleep and some.
Yeah, a little recharge day today, man. Not as much BS, you know, just a nice, smooth, easy work day, which is always good. You know, yesterday a little hectic, a little ornery yesterday still, and today much easier, much nicer. I'll be on the road tomorrow. I got to hit Okeechobee, got to take some rods over to Fast Break, and
that's not a bad thing, man.
No, man, no, I'll be over there seeing the Three Stooges, my boys over there. Love the hell out of them all, man. Chase, Mike, Leaf, you know, they're good people, man. You guys ever get to Okeechobee?
Oh yeah,
Garage, Okeechobee Fishing Headquarters, and Fast Break. 3 awesome people, awesome shops. A lot of product. So if you can't find one particular thing you're looking at, one of the shops, go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Because you know why? You know why they need to go in those shops, right, Dave? Because it's summer and we should be flipping.
And the skunk ape is going to get pitched this weekend. I've got to get over to Poga day this weekend. I don't know what day, Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to go goof off a little bit. Next week I'm on the road, and then the following week I'll be Kissimmee Bartow for the week.
Oh,
so
nice. A little pre-fishing?
Yep. Getting everything ready.
Look who it is.
Yeah, you know.
The tech guy. The tech guy.
What's up, buddy?
Trying.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, dude, nothing. It's just been a day. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
There's nothing on your hat either.
I'm going brainless.
Brainless. Well,
brainless might be. No. It's been one of those days, and things just haven't slowed down, and I ain't had time to do nothing.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's our lives.
I feel like I've done everything, and I feel like it's just been one of those things where I'm ready to breathe now, and I'm just happy I'm here because I don't have a responsibility of doing anything necessarily, even though I'm the tech guy. Jerk. I heard you.
Yeah, but you know, hey, look, you know, Joe and I were just talking, man. After yesterday, it's kind of been a nice, smooth day for me today. Kind of nice
to
get back to sanity. To get back to sanity today, you know, and tomorrow I'll be on the road. So
yeah,
for me it was good. And look, at the end of the day, it was good for you too with our news we got today. So
no,
good work, a lot of work coming through.
Yeah.
So we've got some possibilities and some leads to go get a done deal done.
Nothing wrong with that. But I do want to talk about one more thing before we bring on our guest, because we have a pretty cool guest that, from what I understand, probably has a boatload of stories, no pun intended, across the United States of America. But man, Dave, this freaking hook is possibly one of the most weedless hooks I've ever flipped in my entire I could not get this thing hung.
No, it's smooth, man. It slides through the cover.
So and I'm pitching. You know what Poga looks like. There's mats, there's buggy whips, there's arrowheads. I could not get this thing freaking stuck just to save my life.
Every month I'm there, man. And I'll tell you what, dude, it slides through that cover like butter, man. And I was highly impressed. You know, that's one of the techniques. I'm probably 80% flipping the whole year. And very rarely am I doing anything else, you know, maybe a swim jig or frog, chatterbait, spinnerbait, speed worm, depending on the bodies of water, trap, you know, depending on the bodies of water. But most of the time, 80% of the time, I've got that flipping stick in my hand. And that hook right there impressed me big time.
Yeah, I just got to put him to work. I wasn't going to do anything to him. I knew I was fishing Poga yesterday, and I'm like, if I wanted to put these hooks to the test, it's got to be on Poga. That's the closest flipping lake to me.
And it's impressive, because I put it on a 6-inch stick worm. So there's not a lot of meat there and coming through buggy whips. And
no problem.
No problem. No problem at all coming through buggy whips.
It says something too. It says something too with the hook on this hook. That it's long and it's sharp, man.
Yeah. No, it says something because those buggy whips knock that hook through a lot on a
all the time.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. It also became my new RSB worm hook. This is what I throw my RSB worm on. And dude, I never got hung. That hook keeper is key, guys. For these hooks, these vector hooks, they're sharp, they're strong, and they're weedless. I tell you that.
What were you pitching around weight wise?
I was throwing just 5/16.
Okay.
Yeah, I went a little bit lighter. I was still able to get down there where I needed to be. I wasn't really punching through any mats or I wasn't doing any punching, I guess you could say. Thicker stuff. I did have
too.
Yeah, man, it's like 1.5 foot out there right now. To get on plane, we had to go like 150, 200 yards from the freaking shore, man. In a little tracker, you think we'd be able to get up, but dude, it's some shallow in some spots out there. But dude, came through pads. I sling that RSB worm on like a 1/4 ounce weight, and I just bomb it, and never once got hung up. With that little 1/4 ounce weight in the front of it, it kind of separates that grass and them pads.
Well, and that flat out, the way that's chemically done, it slides through that cover. Nice.
Yeah, dude. That with the flat out paired with the hook, with the skunk ape, that's 15% off right now. SKA15 on bassassassin.com. Right there.
Speaking of, you guys, I shared a Facebook post today, and NextFish will share it as well. But right now, you can get your flat out tungsten 20% off.
Yeah.
Right now, they have a code.
I'm so afraid to tilt this.
Has a code.
Get the code.
I'm so afraid to tilt this. I don't want to tilt it too much.
Don't tilt it.
Jesus.
It's all going to come out.
I kind of want you to tilt it just so you have to pick it up.
It's all going to come out. No, I'll do this. Though.
There you go.
See, messed it all up.
Dude, you are freaking ready.
I've got everything labeled because I don't know what anything is. And I even when I pick up like a 5/16 to a 1/4 or whatever you want to do, like I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
There'll come a point, Andrew, where you will.
Can you?
Yeah.
You can.
I can do. Yeah, I can look and be like, "Nah, that's."
I'm pretty close.
No. Dave, hold on a second. This is going to happen because we're gonna have a guest weight challenge.
Okay.
And if you lose, it's going to be a heavy hit.
What are we doing? Like a habanero eating contest or something? If I lose, or what's
habanero eating contest wearing a dress? I don't know.
Hold on, I ain't got a white flag or a towel, but I'll just go ahead and wave my white flag.
I know, because Dave. The reason I challenge you is because Dave was like, "Yeah, no, I can come within like a weight or two."
I'm pretty.
I can come within a weight. I can come in within one weight, one size, and
I would be willing to give like maybe a plus or minus. I think that would be fair because, dude, I would need like a handicap of like an ounce.
Yeah, give me like a +2, bro. Like give me like a +2.
No, I can be. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with it. I mean, looking at the weight over here, I could I'm not gonna say I bat 100, but I mean I might miss one.
Let's bring in our guest and see what he's got to say.
Yeah,
see if he can figure this out.
Let's see where he's at in all this.
So there's a podcast out there called Let's Talk Fishing, and Jay Angel is the host. Not only is he the host of this podcast, but he is very supportive of Vector Hooks.
Yeah,
and he's been all over the country fishing with all different kinds of people, tournaments, this, that, and the other. He's got some pretty awesome redfish going on.
Yeah, yep. Dude, he's close to hitting 400 podcasts. So I mean, almost 5,000 downloads. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, nearing 20. Like that's nuts. That's
awesome.
No,
that's goals.
How you doing tonight, guys?
Jay,
how you doing, bud?
I like that hat.
Thank you. Yeah, Jeremy just sent this to me, so
there you go.
Oh, nice. Is that the patriotic one?
Yeah,
it is.
Nice, dude. It's the fourth's right around the corner, bud.
Yeah. And
I'm excited.
you're talking about using those vector hooks. I love the Mayhem jigging hooks. I use that for punching down here in southern Louisiana now, where we have to punch through water lilies with 3/4 ounce tungsten.
Nice.
And I mean, you don't know if you're gonna catch an 8-ounce bass, a 5-pound bass, or some big old bowfin thing.
Yeah, that's how we are down here. You never know. Sometimes you set up on one of them big old mudfish. We call them mudfish down here, and man, you think you got the state record when you hook into one of them.
in Cajun land, they're called shoe pick.
Oh,
Shoe pick.
Really?
Yeah, it's French. I don't understand it, but
Don't they call them something else too? Grinnell or something?
Grinnells are up north. They're called dogfish.
yeah, dogfish. Yeah, they're called dogfish up north.
I just started punching because I never had to get through cover like that. But when you go down the swamps around here in the canals and the marsh, you're looking at your side finder and it's featureless. There's no structure whatsoever, and it's 95 degrees. The sun's beating down at you at 9 o'clock in the morning, and of course the bass are going to be underneath the water lilies. That's the only place they're going to be, or like you guys were talking about the buggy whips and all that other stuff that lives in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're going to be. I like to put a baby D-bomb on the back of that on the Mayhem hooks, some flipping hooks.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's like that cover really good too.
It does. I try to get away with the absolute lightest weight I can get, but usually I end up using about a 3/4 ounce because I cannot. I don't like to cast it way up because you
want to be as quiet as possible. But Jay, I'll tell you what, man, I've been sponsored by Mustad, and I've been using the Mustad Red Top since day one when they first came out, and love them. I've never had an issue with them. But I can tell you this, first time I fished the Mayhem was 3 weeks ago. I think 3 weeks ago. And I'll tell you what, man, highly impressed with how it slid through the cover and everything. Just very effortlessly, and what I found too is, you can go with even a lighter weight because it does slide through that cover. You can downsize much more, that little bit.
It has the bait keeper on it. It's reinforced. I can't say enough about it. Everybody just started using them except for Jeremy,
Yep. And we got some bigger things coming too. We got some bigger things coming.
A lot of cool stuff.
Boss has mentioned anything to you yet, but I got to keep a tight lip. But there's some pretty good things coming down the pipe here pretty quick.
Boss man likes to tease us. He likes to tease us. Big things coming.
Yes. So we've been grinding these last couple of weeks. We've been grinding. So
it's been crazy. But listen, Jay, tell us about yourself. Tell us about the podcast, where you've been, what you've done.
Okay,
I've got a lot of questions for you. So go ahead.
I started out in the outdoor business back in 1998 when I got my first job as an outdoor writer, and I just took off after that. I was sitting at my house one time, and this guy called me, who I've been following this guy's fishing since I was a boy, and he said, "Hey Jay," I said, "Yeah, this is Mike Norris." I'm like, "What? Nah, come on, who is this?" He said, "No, this is Mike Norris." I had just started as a writer. I was like 24 years old, just out of the military in grad school. Jeez. And then I was approached by the guy who owned the bait shop, and he wanted me to guide for him. I said, "I don't even have a boat." He said, "You can use one of my rental boats until you buy a boat." And then I started guiding for him, and then he'd let me use his own boat to guide. Then, fast forward, I moved to Alaska like 17 years later. I spent 2 years in Alaska, and that didn't work out because they made it impossible for us to drill up in the Arctic Ocean anymore. So I ended up in southern Louisiana, and I was, working for the government again instead of the oil business. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I'm bored. I don't like this anymore. So I just decided I'm going to start a podcast. I called my son, who's a tech expert. My son found Podbean, which I kind of like your StreamYard better than Podbean. This is a nice little, this little platform that you have here.
It's a nice setup, Jay. And the beauty is, when we're done with this, I can download just the audio, and I can still upload it.
Yep, so wherever we want.
It's pretty versatile, man.
Yeah, this is great. And I have met so many people. I've been doing my podcast for about a year and a half, and I have met so many good people in the fishing industry. There's no way I want to quit now.
No,
Yeah.
no. There's a lot of good things coming. I mean, right now the fishing industry is a little chaotic, but I'll tell you, man, there's so much coming down the pipeline right now for all the way around the board, man. From tackle companies to tournaments to all these new anglers, these young anglers coming up, these days, and there's a big push in our sport. And the high school kids, we just had the high school kids down here.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yes. That's
200 plus strong, dude. That's
crazy.
Pretty impressive.
That's our future. That's our future, buddy. You'll be doing podcasts for a long time, interviewing all them kids.
The high school kids, they have tournaments like 300 boats in it.
Yeah.
My God.
Like they're already little professionals.
That is.
I'm going to get back into tournaments, but I think I'm just going to stick with the small club tournaments from now on.
Hey, grassroots are ours. Hey, they feed it, man. They fuel the fire. They feed it.
It's friendly, there's not a whole lot of money involved.
And they scratch the itch, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I fish a redfish series, and it's just so much fun. There's only about 50 boats in each one of them, $25 entry fees, plus about $50 in shrimp. That's what Dave likes to use as those shrimp.
No, man. We had a podcast, Joe. We had a podcast with Jay, man, and I told him, I was like, man, you just came down a couple notches on my.
Oh man.
I'm all excited talking to him, and then he starts talking live bait.
Oh, listen, man.
Come on,
You better believe I don't use live bait for bass, man. But
that's what Andrew uses, Jay. Don't worry.
That's right.
Yeah, so we've been giving Andrew a really rough time these last the last week now. He just figured out and learned this drop shot thing, and he is like retarded now. Oh, he's retarded now.
When I lived up north, I thought drop shotting was exclusively for deep water. I get down here, and people are drop shotting in 3 feet of water and catching biggins.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've won some redfish tournaments doing that. Getting our baits, setting our baits right on top of the grass instead of letting it get down in the grass, or not being able to get it to settle on the top. We've drop shotted it to where it's on the top because those fish will swim and pick off crabs off the top of the grass. So
sure. And something I have been experimenting with lately is, particularly since, have you ever spy baited?
Yeah.
I'm not.
They're making Dual Realis is making a larger spy bait now that you can use with heavier line and bait casting.
I've got 2 of them. I've got 2 of them, 4.5 inches. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are awesome, man. Those are awesome.
Yeah, I haven't had a situation to use one yet, though. I bought them. For that day that, if it does come. But
just like you said, when they're feeding on the tops of the grass, man, you could just tick that along the tops of those grass. Man,
I was just going to ask, what situation would you throw a spy bait in? I've seen them, and I know that the Duo Realis is one of like the quintessential ones you need to have if you're going to spy bait.
And tough.
Yeah.
Bending and tough. Frontal
like if you have clear water and you can see the speckled trout down in there. Man, if you can't, and they're not biting at anything, even the live bait fishermen aren't catching them. Cast out that spy bait and just barely work it, particularly if you can work it against the tide.
Oh yeah.
Man, them little spinners will sit there and spin, and you can just barely move it.
Interesting.
I had a big weed. I couldn't even see the red, but a big red came up and grabbed it, and I was using the original spy bait that's so small.
Right.
That thing came up and took that, and I couldn't stop it. It just started going with the current. I'm using a 6-pound line and a medium action spinning rod. Yeah. All right, I just grab the spool. Don't take 2 hours. And
Yeah.
I don't have any patience at all for that. Like Jack Creval's, I'll just grab the spool.
Yeah. Yeah.
$15. See ya.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hate jacks. Can't stand them.
Yes.
Unless you're really big. Unless you're giant.
We were talking about dogfish earlier, or what we call, what you guys call mudfish. I thought I've hooked into jacks and thought I had the biggest red ever. Before I even knew what a jack, I pulled it in. What the heck is this thing?
We're fishing the jetties in a redfish event up there, and we were crankbaiting the jetties for redfish, and we would see the redfish down in the rocks and on our graphs and stuff like that, and so we started crankbaiting them. We're catching them, and had a good first day. We're sitting in like 7th, 8th place. Second day, we go back out there, and same situation, everything was same. We're excited, we have a good shot, and we couldn't keep off the jacks that day. And I ain't talking a little one. I'm talking those 20, 25 pounders that you guys get hang around those inlets, man. Oh my God.
Submarines, boy.
It was
catching those with crankbaits. That's an expensive hobby.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, still cash a check.
Yeah. But catching redfish on a crankbait, that would be fun.
Oh, it's a good time. Let me tell you what. You talk about hitting it. Like we were kind of trying to keep it just above the rocks, but there was times where we'd run into the rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those redfish would hit it, and we'd think we'd hit a rock and hung a rock, and it'd actually be a redfish. They hit it that hard. I mean, they were choking that thing.
Man, I've caught them on whopper ploppers. I've caught them on glide baits. Walking the dog.
Oh yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
My favorite way is a toad across the hydrilla. Oh, dude, they come up and smash toads, man. Oh my God, yeah, that's fun.
A redfish on a whopper plopper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, dude.
You throw a baby 1-. You throw a baby 1-, that wake bait. Oh my God.
Oh, I love the
Wake
big
bait's awesome.
one.
Because they'll tail the wake bait for the longest time before they commit to. It's like they enjoy it.
Dude, they will
enjoy the hunt, like before the kill.
If you get it tailing you, just stop your bait.
Yeah.
Either stop it or start going real fast.
Yep.
Right.
Just do anything.
Just do something. Change your cadence.
Switch up that cadence.
Yeah, give it a twitch. Give it something. They'll fire off on that thing, too.
And if it doesn't work at first, try something else.
Right.
Whoa, popping for it.
Because they want to eat it.
Throw whatever that thing is. What was that?
Whatever that thing is.
Was that your little? I have. Where's yours, Dave? We're supposed to be in sync, bro. Come on. No, that's awesome, man. I've caught redfish on spooks and like little paddle tails. I just never knew. I don't fish enough saltwater. I'm a bass guy. But there's Dave.
Well, anything you can catch a bass on. Anything you can catch a bass on, you can probably catch a redfish on it.
And then some.
Yeah.
And
they're just not as picky as bass.
Yeah.
Anything that you keep a bass lure in, you could probably catch a redfish on too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've caught them on plastic bags, pieces of plastic bags. Huh?
Really? Plastic bags?
Oh yeah, dude. There's certain times over here on the East Coast where there's like a super strong incoming tide, like a 4 foot to 6 foot pool, right?
Yeah.
And if the tide dumps, everything empties, right? And then when the tide starts incoming, as long as you're in a flat that only has like 1 or 2 entrances, if you can find it, dude, they come in to feed, because at that point the fresh water's coming in, all the bait goes crazy, and it's just like a frenzy. There's no turning down anything. And when you run out of bait because you've caught so many redfish, if you still want to catch more redfish, you start ripping up bags. You start doing whatever you got to do. Put something a little bit flimsy on that hook.
Shit, you just throw a bare hook some of the times.
Yeah.
You can.
That's what my wife always tells me, that when they're biting, you can just throw a bare hook in there and just.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it up in your backyard, Jay. I've done that. Just pitch a jig head, just nothing on it. Just pitch a jig head at it. Boom.
Yeah, I've done that with peacock bass. I've used bubble gum, gummy worms. Like those peacock bass will hit freaking anything.
Gummy worms got to be good. You got to be careful, because if I'm around,
dude, I freaking love me some gummy worms, bro. Sour gummy worms are like Sour Patch Kids, dude. That is a must. There's a box of Sour Patch on the boat every time I go out. Best believe that. I love me some Sour Patch. And so
you wonder why you didn't catch no fish flipping last night.
Hey, I wasn't flipping the freaking gummy worms, man. I was flipping the juice. I thought I was.
You're wound up. You're wound up doing dang.
I was, man. I had me an energy drink. Had 2 rods going, trying to make it just get it. Oh man, what do you like to fish for, Jay? Over there in Louisiana, what is your favorite species to target? If Jay had one species,
okay. If I had to choose one, it'd have to be largemouth bass.
okay. What's the why behind that?
It would just have to be largemouth bass.
Gotcha. What's your PB largemouth?
Believe it or not, it's only 7 pounds. I spent 90% of my life in Illinois, and I actually caught a 7-pound largemouth on a wetlands project, not very far from my house. You couldn't even use, I had a small boat that I used for guiding the smaller lakes that only allowed a 9.9 horsepower motor.
Oh, okay.
And, I'd take off my motor and just use my 24-volt system on a 18-foot aluminum boat. I could fly in that.
Yeah.
Man, there were a lot of big bass in there, and I was flipping, and my son started catching fish on wacky rigs, and so I put on a wacky rig, and first cast got me a 7-pound largemouth. I could not believe it. That thing flew up to the top, and I'm like, Mac, get my net.
Nice deal. Good old wacky rig, man. When it gets tough, or you're in a really good fishing lake, you can throw that wacky rig and whack them, man. I took a buddy out to Fellsmere, Dave, and gave him a fat job, St. John Special.
Yeah,
that doesn't fish much, so get him a little medium heavy spinning rod, the 7-foot Reaper, medium heavy. Dude, smashing them, bro. 5-pounder after 5-pounder after 5-pounder on that freaking wacky rig. We ran out of fat jobs for sure.
Did you really?
Yeah, 2 bags.
Holy cow, dude!
And he was in heaven. I mean, this guy's used to catching like little 3-pounders and stuff. And I took him out there. I said, dude, if you throw this wacky rig on, you're gonna smash them, bro. This lake hasn't been touched. And that wacky rig I've seen some people catch some giants on the wacky rig.
Well, I've got a guy, a charter captain over there at is part of the Bass Assassin staff, and he was wacky rigging all winter long, dude, catching giants.
Yeah,
absolute giants. He ended up getting an 11 and a 12. I was like, geez, man. He's like, yeah, pitch it up next to a mat. And I was like, my God, dude.
Yeah, that's
killer pictures, man.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, run the weed lines, next to mats, pads, anything, next to some type of structure, and you're probably going to get bit. On
a little current from the wind or something going around the corners and points.
Right.
Up there and hang on.
Jay, what lakes are you fishing in your area right now for the bass?
There's most of it around here is swamps. We have a thing called the Henderson. The Henderson is nothing but it's just an endless network of canals and huge lakes, but it's all just a drainage from. It's part of the Mississippi River. They take 30% of the Mississippi River out, and then they put it down the old path of the Mississippi. And it's enormous. And I've been fishing there, but we've had so much rain that a lot of the oxbows from the Henderson are actually going better now because they're not chocolate milk like the rest of the swamp is.
Nice.
Gotcha. And you're still throwing the wacky rig out there?
I throw the wacky rig. I throw a lot of chatterbaits. The jackhammer with a Zako on the back of it.
Right.
I call it the Black Mosley Express. He's made a lot of money doing that.
Oh yeah, yes,
yeah. Have you ever fished the water that's directly under I-10?
Yes. In fact, that's what I was talking about. That's known as the Henderson.
That's the Henderson. I didn't know it. Every time I've gone to Texas, you look like that's like the one part of I-10 from Tallahassee to Texas that's interesting, right?
Yes, it is. Actually, what you're looking at is called Lake Bijou.
That's a lake.
Yeah. You're just in endless cypress trees there.
I was gonna say, what does it look like? Does it look like more like a marsh?
Dude, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, marsh, winding
you're
marsh.
going to go to the Atchafalaya River first, then you're going to go over Lake Pelba, then you go over Lake Bijou. That's all that is. All that is great bass fishing.
There's got to be a good frog bite there. I could only imagine.
Oh yeah, a lot of guys use frogs.
Dave's like,
I do a lot of punching there too.
Yeah.
Because when we went my very first time going to Louisiana, it was just a guy's trip with a good friend of mine and his dad and his dad's buddy, And we got out there and we were catching fish. It was fun. It was we set our goal, we set our minds, we're just gonna straight sight fish. And we're going along. We get back into this one pond and there was hydrilla. There was tail and redfish. There was redfish everywhere. So you could see it, just singles, just cruising, floating, everything, dude. It was money. And I was like, my God, if I had a frog, So my buddy looks at me and goes, dude, I'm telling you, Pop's got one. And I'm like, why would he bring a frog? He goes, Pop brings everything. So man, and this is no joke. This man pulls out these huge Tupperwares. He had 13 of these huge Tupperwares. And, buddy, I mean to tell you, he had the kitchen sink in these things. He was going through them. He had swim baits. He had craws, worms, hard baits, spinner baits. I mean, dude, he had 13 boxes full of just everything you could think of. And fishing line, all kinds of stuff. And we're going through them. He's like, well, I got some toads. I'm like, yep. So I took the toads and he got through and he had 2 frogs. I said, Pop, I will pay you $20 for one of those. He goes, man, they only cost like $7-8. I'm like, Pop, I want one. And he's like, here, take both of them. I'm like, are you sure? I said, what do you want for them? He said, nothing. I said, you're not getting them back, right? And he said, well, why not? I said, dude, a redfish is going to trash these things.
Crush them. Yeah.
That's what I want them for. And we went back up to that pond we had up there. Dude, it was so much fun. Oh my God. Spro frogs. And then when the spro frogs tore up so bad they were filling full of water, started throwing the horny toads across the hydrilla at them. Oh,
that's
dude.
Crazy. I would never think to throw a frog at a redfish. That's
oh my God. They'll eat anything up there, man.
Yeah.
Top water is so exciting with redfish because they've been known to jump out of the water and grab them on the way down.
Yep. You're popping cork. You're sitting there clacking. You're sitting there clacking your cork. They'll come up and destroy your cork. Absolutely crash your cork. If you fish, Jay will tell you what. Watch. If you fish popping corks in Louisiana,
yes,
you will not come back without a popping cork full of teeth marks.
They all have teeth marks in them.
Yep.
That's
a
crazy.
true statement right there.
But also they're good at the toilet flush bite too, where they come up and just open their mouths and suck in your topwater bait.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even, and they're even more sneaky than bass. You don't even see a ripple. Just your scoop is gone.
Yeah, just a suction pop.
You're sitting there and you do you pull it and you're retrieving the slack line. Where'd it go?
Yep. Oh, it got so stupid. It got so stupid. We were catching fish. Like my buddy would see a fish and he would throw it 30 yards off to the right-hand side. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? The fish is right there. And he goes, oh, well, I've caught so many of them. I'm going to see if this works. And he'd pop it, trying to make him come over every time. That fish, it would take him some time, but that fish would cruise right on over to the noise, go right out over to the popping cork. Dude, 30 yards away, just swim right over. We'd watch them the whole time.
I always thought they were very like a spooky fish. Like they're easy to spook.
Oh, they can be.
It depends, dude.
Yeah,
I've had fish in the kayak next to me that I reached down to pet.
What?
Yeah,
yeah.
It really depends on the area.
Joe, if you're in Louisiana, if you see a fish, drop on them. No matter what.
You're probably gonna catch them.
I've had them come down the side of the boat. I've dropped straight down on them and hook them. I've had them come down the side of the boat and they spook, hit my trolling motor. Ask Big Steve when you see him next time.
Okay.
Hit the trolling motor. The whole trolling motor goes like this. He swims over to the edge, sits down. I fire a cast at him and hook him.
Yeah, they don't go far usually.
My trolling motor, dude.
If you're kayaking in Louisiana, you have to be careful, man. There's all kinds of nasty things in our water.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know y'all got them down there in Florida too, but the water's dirty around here, and you can't see them.
See anything, right? Yeah.
Well, see, over here on the East Coast, it's all mud water.
Okay.
It's all mud water. Over on the West Coast, where Dave's at, it's pretty clear, pretty green, pretty.
Yeah, it's like the West.
I'd love to get back to some clear water, man. I went smallmouth fishing last summer in some clear water, and it was sea down 15 feet again. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Clean water is fun, man. That's always a good time. Like it was kind of nice, to fish the Kissimmee chain because everything I fish has no grass, so everything's dirty now, including our clean water lakes, which were gin clear.
Not as clean as they used to be.
Day, with all the shrimp grass and all the pepper grass and things like that in our deeper lakes. They put grass carp in there and they sprayed them, and there isn't any more shrimp grass or any of that kind of stuff anymore. So those lakes have muddied up some now, and it sucks. But man, I love that Kissimmee chain because a couple of the bodies of water, they do leave grass, and that water gets nice and clean, and it just see the bait, the fish. I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah,
that is. When you go up north and the water's so gin clear that you can literally see a smallmouth on the bottom in 20 feet of water.
Yeah. Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
You drop down something like a tube, and it's going down nice and slow, and that bass comes off the bottom to grab it. It's a beautiful sight to watch.
Oh, it is, and it's cool because we would take before they had that magnifying glass and that cone.
Yeah,
you can see we would just take a regular scuba mask and we'd set it in the water, and we would just sit there and lay down on our stomach, and the other guy would flip at a smallmouth on a bed, and we'd just sit there and just watch it all go down because it's clean. There's like 8-9 foot of water. They'd be spawning on beds and stuff.
That is insane.
Just set it there and just watch them. It's like, oh, he's coming. Ooh, he's ready. He's up.
Yeah, I could do that all day.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Even if I was a spotter, like it'd be a fun little event.
Yeah.
I still need to get me a smallmouth, man. That's another bucket list fish.
Yeah.
And now they got all that live and imagery. You pretty much watch it on your screen now.
Oh yeah.
So when you get down to Florida, Jay?
Boy, my mom lives up in Arkansas now, so I don't get down to Florida much. My wife and I have been talking about coming down to the Destin area for a vacation.
It's a nice area.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you'll have to let us know, Jay.
Oh, my parents used to, when my dad was alive, he lived on the Harris chain, and I would go down there all the time to fish with him on the Harris chain. I never caught one bigger than 6 pounds on the Harris chain, though.
Oh, they got some big ones.
Still a good fish.
We talked about that on your show.
I was gonna say, I did listen to a little bit, Jay, and I understand you did good on some crappie there, though.
Oh yeah, my father was quite a crappie fanatic, and I mean we caught some 13 and 14 inches there. And grass shrimp, I'd never seen grass shrimp before.
Oh yeah,
Really?
That's money.
Yeah,
Grass shrimp for all them panfish, man. You get you some grass shrimp. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Now bait shops could just find a way to keep them alive long enough to sell them properly.
Yeah.
We'd have, sometimes they wouldn't have them, and I told Dad, I primarily guide for crappies up in Illinois. I know how to catch these on jigs,
Yeah.
Let's just go. You don't need live, like Dave says, you don't need live bait to catch fish.
Yeah, Andrew, you hear that? You don't need wild shiners. You don't need them.
I ain't never used a wild shiner in my life.
Look, I hate to admit, my PB is a 12.3 on a wild shiner. I don't count it. I don't count it. My PB's a 9.7 on a swim jig. That's what I count.
I think I spent $100 one day on wild shiners. I didn't catch one bigger than 5.
I was gonna say I've had days too, like $80 in, and none.
That was still from the wild shiners. That didn't count for the guide fee,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's about a $400 day to catch a 5-pounder.
Oh man,
that's always a good thing, right? Go out there and watch that $100 bill disappear in an hour, and you haven't caught anything over 5, and they're 10, 12-inch shiners.
He starts getting out balloons,
Yeah.
Oh man. Wake up, Andrew.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm just dying today.
I even asked him, can I throw a spinnerbait, please? This was about 20 years ago. I loved my spinnerbaits back then,
Yeah.
Well, I've got 11 fish over 10, and 9 of those 11 are on a War Eagle spinnerbait.
Okay.
War Eagle spinnerbait.
Jeez.
Yeah, my personal best 11.9 is on it. I got a trophy catch, certified trophy catch with that one. $100 Bass Pro card.
Yeah. Nice.
But then, of course, chatterbaits come along,
Yeah, they've come a long ways, and trailers and things like that. I had introduced Andrew to one this year, and he's still mind blown with it. And he goes out and just started wrecking them.
Dude, I've used chatterbaits, but that trailer makes a world of difference. That vapor shed, that's a whole. And it looks just like a creature just cruising through the water. I don't know how you didn't want to hit it.
I don't have any deal going with Gary Yamamoto baits, but that Zako is awfully good on the back of a chatterbait.
Yeah, that's what I started throwing. You know, when I got into the jackhammers, and you can't beat a Zako on the back. But let me tell you, Jay, that vapor shad.
I don't know. I put it up against it.
Buddy, I'm serious.
I would put that vapor shad up against it any day.
Yeah.
Who makes the vapor shad?
Some days.
That's Assassin does.
How did I know that?
5-inch. It's a 5-inch, real thin jerk bait. So it actually has. You could throw it out there, Jay, with a belly weighted hook and just reel it in, and it'll swim.
You know, that's how I first started catching redfish. Is with a zoom fluke and a belly weighted hook.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's similar to your vapor shad.
Yeah, very similar. I caught like a 713 this year, Jay, on one just by itself, like a fluke.
Ooh, look at that. Is that a vapor shad right there?
That's a vapor shad.
Yeah, that's a vapor shad.
And it's real thin, so it has a swimming action to it.
Yeah, and do that tail gets going, Jay?
It's got a split tail, just like the Zako.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it walks, man, so nice. Like it doesn't walk. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the action is.
It does its thing so fast. It looks like that.
It has a roll. It has that roll to it.
Yeah.
So what size jackhammer are you using with a 5-inch vapor shad?
Yeah. And you put the whole 5. You put the whole 5 on it. You put the whole 5 on it. Andrew's like, there's no way. That's too big of. That's way too much. That's 5. And dude, they choke it. Andrew was blown out. He's like, he caught one about 6.
I take the tip of the nose off.
Yeah, he caught one about 6. Was like the first one he caught on it. He called me instantly. And then he caught a couple 12-inchers on it. And he was like, dude, there's no way, dude. They were choking this thing. They were down his throat. They were 12 inches. And I'm like, I know. I told you.
Oh, man. Yeah. I've caught 10-inch bass on a Zero spook. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You think you got hung up on some weeds. You're like, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden, yeah.
We just going all over the place, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So something that just impaled itself on those trebles, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna say
we'll have to get out there and wet a line, buddy. We'll have to get out there and wet a line, man.
I would enjoy that. It'd be fun fishing with you guys.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we've got some good things coming down the pipeline, and I'm excited. I've been Andrew and I've been talking with JB quite a bit these last 2 weeks on going to another level with the company and some new product, some nice hooks coming down the line, a few adjustments on some of the line, he has out currently. And I'll tell you, man, he's got some good things coming.
One thing I was really impressed with that I've been using is the wacky hook he has, a size 2. I used to use size 4 wacky hooks because I like them to just barely sink.
Mm-hmm.
I like them to just hover in the water. But then I started using the missile baits, the 48.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And also I lost a few hooks, a few big ones down here, just because my hook was too small and it got into coontails or hydrilla or something.
Right. Yeah.
Man, up north where I'm fishing and when I'm fishing the riprap, it's a whole lot different than down here. So I started using a size 2 vector wacky hook.
Yep.
And
that's the size I use as well.
Yeah, size 2.
I use 2 or a 1, depending on what I'm fishing. And if I go to a bigger style bait, I'll get up there to a 2-aught even.
That's my particular choice hook for my signature drop shot.
No.
Signature drop shot, dude. This guy, he couldn't tie a drop shot. He had no clue what he was doing. Could not tie one. We wouldn't tell him. And so he decided to put one together. And between JB, Brad Watley, and myself, we were literally in tears, like physically in tears, watching him. And he's like, I'm going to reinvent the wheel. And it was funny because then I sent him how to tie a drop shot, which none of us told him or showed him or anything. We just kept laughing, like, go on with it, Andrew, keep going with it. I sent him a video on actually how to tie it. He goes, well, damn, that's much easier than
Yeah.
Listen, I proved them all long ago.
Myself with the Snell hook when I started using that. When I started punching it,
yeah.
I had never punched, and I had tied Snell's hooks when some of the walleye rigs I used up north needed Snell hooks, but I hadn't Snell. But I hadn't done it in 20 years.
Yeah, your worm, your nightcrawler spinner, your spinner rig, your
nightcrawler spinner rigs, exactly.
Yep.
You tie 2 of them.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You got to hook one in the head, one in the back, and you got to keep it as straight as you possibly can.
Oh yeah,
straight is better. If they're not straight, you will not get bit. I learned that.
Yeah,
but
Snell knot is
a lot better tying a Snell knot than a polymer on that flipping hook.
Yes.
Yeah, you got a Snell. You're flipping. That's
you don't need that big hook set with it either, and you get a better hookup ratio. I feel.
Yeah.
You don't need the hook set of, gorilla hook set. And
so you're snelling when you're flipping?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I don't flip.
You want that hook to pop up.
Yep.
Yes.
Your higher percentage land is in the cheeks and in the top of the head. That's where all the cartilage and the bone is.
Get it through there and you're good. And these hooks get through there. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, they effortlessly get through it.
It's almost like a circle hook set where you just kind of pull up.
You kind of just lean into them. Yeah.
You lean into them with a little jab to make sure that you clear the weight. That's it. That little jab clears the weight for you and gets that barb home. Other than that, that's all you need.
That really freaked me out, but I was fishing with a guy named James Simmons, who's also on the Vector team.
Mm-hmm.
And the first bite I got, I set the hook and that weight came flying out of the water.
Oh yeah.
We all been there.
And I'm like, what did I do? He says, just pull up. If you feel the fish, then just pop it. Then just heave him right into the boat.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't stop. Just keep them coming and flip them on in.
Yep.
No net needed.
He said, you're using a heavy action rod. Just flip them right on in.
Yep.
Get them out and keep them coming.
Got all big. What? What?
Oh yeah.
I've never boat flipped a 5-pounder. He's like, well, stick around. It gets better.
Buddy, I had a 9.3 I weighed in. I had a tournament, ABA tournament, and I pull up to the spot and fire a swim jig out there and reeling it, bam, big and hits it. Look down, and my net is under my big old tackle bag, and then my cooler was sitting on it as well. I had a soft side cooler, and right over the side of the boat. I looked and I was like, what? What did I just do? My tournament partner has done it twice, once in front of me, and his was like 9.7, 9.6, 9.7. And when he did it, it was kind of the same thing. His tackle bag was on his net when he did it in front of me, and I was just like, oh my God.
It worked.
Dude, it's all momentum, man.
It is.
If you can get the head going the right way.
If you know how to do it,
like you can feel it like happening too. Like you get in, like it's either do or die. Like you're gonna flip him in or he's gonna flip off, and you got to just risk it.
No, imagine being in a kayak and not being able to find your net or anything like that, having a 30-40 inch redfish on the side of the boat. You got to get the head up somehow.
How do you not find your net in a kayak? It's
Yeah,
either
if you only
sitting
be
on your lap or sitting on your back.
It's either too far in the back or because you're not anticipating catching what you're catching or you're fishing for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You ain't never know what you're catching in hull over. That's fact.
Yeah.
And catch a wave. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I love
talking about fishing the marsh. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to get out to Louisiana, man. It's like a great fishery.
Yeah, buddy of mine just fished that power pole championship up there, and he was catching bass and redfish all in the same pond.
That's
Nice.
crazy.
I was like, dude, where are you at? He's like, I'm way up Delacroix. I'm like, man.
I'm like, send me the pin, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go catch largemouth.
Like awesome
I mean,
day.
granted, they're only 2.5 pound largemouth, but still, man.
I take it with a mix in with some reds, man. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
dude.
If you come over to Tomoka over here, outside of Ormond Beach, the Tomoka River is known for having redfish, snook, largemouth bass.
Yeah. Peace River, too. You can get big snook and big bass.
Big
One after the other.
I
Giants.
know about the big snook.
Big snook.
Dude, there's big bass in there, too.
Jay, have you ever caught a snook?
No, I've never caught a snook. No, they
Well,
don't.
gotta make that happen. That'll be a good catch.
Andrew's got a really nice drop shot snook rig that he wants to show.
That I do not. And I would never, ever. Listen, I'm a lot more educated when it comes to saltwater. When it comes to freshwater, I'll take the whooping.
He goes, I'm educated.
Hey,
No, Jay, you got to get down here, bud. I'd like to put you on a. Have you ever caught a peacock bass?
I caught a small one when my dad lived in Miami. Yeah.
Dude, they're bigger now. They've grown up, Jay.
have you ever caught a clown knife fish?
No, never caught a clown knife fish.
Me either. We got to go do it. Let's do it.
I've jumped them, but I've never landed one.
Yeah. Mayaca State Park. Mayaca State Park's got snook in it.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Really?
Yes, it does. When the water gets flowing through there with all the rains, you go up there with a popper and have fun.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Nice. Dude, we have
to get you, maybe we could get you to do your podcast over at Osceola Outback. We'll treat him to a little special something there, Andrew.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
that'd be a good time.
Yeah. Catch you barramundi. Have you ever caught a barramundi?
Barramundi, those are in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, they're here in Florida too.
In the one pond in Florida.
There's two of them. There's two ponds.
Well, you guys
And you
also
still
have
couldn't catch
python and iguanas and stuff. So
Yeah, no, we'll get you some barramundi, man. That's a catch. Unless you're Andrew, that's a catch species.
In fact, I don't have a barramundi yet, but I have seen them face to face.
It's a species, no problem catching, Jay. But yeah, that'd be cool, man. Do a podcast from there and with the Outback. That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, just let us know when you're going to get down this way, Jay, and we'd love to take you around the state and show you some things.
thank you. I'd appreciate that. That'd be fun.
Yep.
Maybe we can set up a Vector Hooks escape.
Oh,
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Freaking epic, bro.
Yeah. That way JB covers all the bill and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Jay, man, it was a pleasure. We really enjoy you. Looking forward to doing the next podcast with you. And we had a blast with that. Andrew and I did. And maybe we get Joe on there the next time. And
I'll get on for sure.
yeah, I'll have some stuff. But no, man, we really appreciate you tonight, Jay. And man, best of luck with what you're doing there in Louisiana. We're big fans. We love listening to you now that we know you. And appreciate you coming on with your time tonight, buddy.
Well, thank you. It was great to be part of this show. I had a blast, guys. Thank you. I'd love to come down and fish with you in Florida.
Oh yes, you come to Florida. Ticket is punched.
Yes.
Ticket is punched. We will find a body of water to float a boat in, buddy.
Yeah, we're calling off. We're taking off. We're coming. We're fishing.
Yeah, we'll find some place to float a boat. Saltwater, freshwater, it don't matter.
Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jay. You have a good night, bud. We appreciate you, man.
You too.
All right, take care, bud. Dude, I want to go to Louisiana, guys.
Dude, some of the stuff he's saying about over there, I just want to go experience. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I drove over I-10, I'd be down.
Bucket list, man. I'm telling you, it's a catching. If you go there, so I was in the peak of my redfish, and I'd come home and it's not the same.
Right.
You're ruined. You're done. You're
one of
ruined.
those things.
I'm talking 50 fish days. I'm talking how do you want to catch them? I'm talking you see them, you catch them. I mean, literally, it's
It's like
and
that.
you come home and then you got to deal with them being all spooky and
Yes.
one there.
There's a
That's why I was
place
getting
over
mind
here.
blown. The way you guys were saying, I'm like, no, that's not what I know. Like, it's always like they're tailing, shh, and like we're kneeling down and shit, like, you know, and pulling to them.
Dude.
Never had to deal.
Dude,
I've never caught them.
we love sight fishing them, dude. You just go with the trolling motor and just keep the trolling motor going. Oh, there's one, pitch at it. Whoop, hook up.
Dude, we got to go red fishing. Hey, when's the good time to go red fishing? November? When's
Wintertime is like January, February is really good here on the East Coast.
So, the springtime, which we just missed, is really good. Yeah, it's real good, and then fall time is good too.
Now we have a cool thing up here in the Northeast in the fall called flood season, and it's all flood tides, and so we do have like daily. We've got like a 4 to 5 foot swing
going back
tide, right now. In the fall, it goes up to like 8-9 feet sometimes. And what happens is all the grass gets flooded that's on the bank.
What happens is Dave gets stuck in the back of
Don't get stuck.
No, back there, Dave.
Yeah, we had it was almost a 9-foot swing, and we were back in there and we were catching fish, and we went to get out, and it was just, we come around the corner and it was just mud. No, it was no burr. It was
No.
It was trolling motor, and I'm going, man, it's getting real shallow. Boy, it's getting shallow. We come around the corner and we look up ahead of us, and it was just mud to the ICW.
No.
Well, turn around, we'll go back and see if we can't catch a few more.
We're stuck here now, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Jacksonville's pretty cool, man. That whole area up there is interesting. I know quite a few good places up there. My favorite place though is St. Augustine South to Ormond, in that area, Princess Place.
Yeah, down the ICW there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, never fished much up there. I'm more of a south guy. Central and south is where.
Now we've had days there where we're fishing 5 deep in one hole, literally quintuple hookups every 10 minutes. Yeah,
that's nice. That's
like
nice.
we've had 200, 300 redfish days easy.
Good size slot.
Oh, all slots.
Yeah,
if not a little over.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you'll catch your 18s and 19s. We'll keep those.
Yeah.
And then
you can find a creek. You can find a creek, and if that school decides to move up in that creek, feed on the crab and mud minnows. Oh my God!
Well, see, we've got a couple creeks over here that are like situated where on the outgoing tide, there's just deep pockets and well outs around the bends, and they just pull up in there because they have no way out.
They have no way out. They just nest.
They have to.
It's literally shooting fish in a barrel, but it's so much fun, especially when you decide you want to go light tackle.
If you position your boat correctly, they'll come. They'll come to your boat and they'll roll off your boat and go back. So they won't go past you. They'll come to your boat, pull your boat, turn around and go back, and you just keep them there the whole time.
That's what we do with the kayaks. We line them up.
I said you line it up and kind of like pin them in there.
Yep.
What? You like hurt them?
Oh yeah.
You're hunting them.
You can hurt. You can easily hurt them. I've done it a number of times here red fishing. You know, you just herd the mullet and they stay with the mullet. So you're not necessarily hurting the redfish as you are the mullet. And there's times where I know I can't get the fish. I might get one to eat out here. And so what I'll do is I'll run up into them and I'll bump them, but I'll bump them in a direction that I want them to go, because I know if they move up 50 yards to the next spot where they'll hunker down is the area they want to be in to feed. You know, it's just spending time on a school of fish to learn the fish's attitude, their demeanors and stuff like that. You know, all schools are different, but the flats that they're on, you study those flats, you'll know where those feed, you know, where their happy spots are on those flats.
Yeah, like we've got a couple of flats that it looks like a minefield filled with oyster bars, right? But there is 100% like a clear-cut path where all the fish go. You could consider it a channel, but it's not a channel.
It's a highway. It's a highway.
You're right.
And even though you know they could go to the left of that oyster bar, they're not doing it. They've got a path.
Yeah.
And it's mainly where the bait goes, man. Wherever there's a little bit of current where the bait can follow, that's where they'll go. Dude,
that's crazy. That's a whole nother world to me. You know, I mean, I have fun. I pinfish and stuff on the trestles and Boca Grande and stuff. You know, I've caught redfish there and snook. tore them up, but nothing to like chasing them into flats or anything like that. Or
it's fun. You can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things with them, man. You can, if you know your fish, you know how to study the flats. You'll know where they want to be. You know where they'll come. You know where they. So each school is different, but if you know the flat, you'll know that they're going to be here, 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 kind of a thing. And if they're not here, they're going to be in that one. If they're not in that one, they're going to be in this one. And boom, there they are. Yeah. So now you know how to treat that, school.
Yeah.
Like you position your boat, and it's all water, incoming, outgoing, high tide, low tide. They'll move, with the tides, and the bait will move too. And it's like we got up on this one flat, and we're tailing everywhere, dude. Absolutely tailing everywhere. And I had one of the best red fishermen living today in my boat with me, Greg Watts.
Oh, yeah.
We could not get them to eat. And they were eating because they were tailing. We were watching them eat crab. Yeah. We couldn't get the first one to eat. And as soon as that water hit 1.5, because it was an incoming tide, as soon as it hit 1.5, every fish we caught.
Yeah.
Every fish we caught.
No, that's very true, because like the particular flat that I had a lot of luck in and consistently had a lot of luck in, it had to be a negative tide. The water had to dump. Yep. And then as the water's coming back in, the first 6 inches of water that comes in, nothing. Can't get nothing. But as soon as that water comes over that 6 inch mark, from 6 inches to 4 feet,
they turn on.
It's just money. And imagine 6 inches to 4 feet in time frame. I mean, that's 2 hours.
Yeah. Even though they're feeding and you're throwing at them, like Greg was dropping dimes, dude.
Yeah.
I still today I didn't even cast, because I was like, there's no way I could cast that good. And even on my best day, cast as good and as quiet. I mean, barely making a ripple on the water, dropping it on their nose.
Laying it on it. Yeah.
All kinds of baits too, gulp stuff. I mean, everything, and they wouldn't touch it. But they were feeding.
What?
They were feeding.
Hashtag
came up. That water came up.
You said every school is different. I mean, there's temperament to them all.
Yeah. Everybody's different, man. Every one of them. Some will just flat feed. Some will feed on the move. Some will feed not moving. It's just some will feed in potholes. Some won't feed if they're on the flat. But if they get into a pothole, it's feed bags.
And that comes with that experience that both of you got
studying
fisheries and things. So that's just all it takes. And that's what we tell everybody. If you want to, and we had Brad on here saying go fishing. Everybody we ask, what do you suggest, or what's one tip you can give to go catch fish? Go freaking fish and learn the water.
Yeah. Last tournament I've heard about what technique it was that I did. I've heard about it. And not to the extreme, but I've done it, but not to the extreme. And it was to the extreme that it worked for me last tournament. And I've never done it a day in my life. Now that I know that, it's in my hip pocket.
Yep. Yeah. It's like that.
Right now, you said it was a tough time going down that west wall.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't a tough time.
Not with Dave.
If you know, you just pay attention to the fish.
Yeah.
Right.
In all honesty, the way that I learned that flat that I know is I went out and just went fishing, right?
Yeah.
Went out and just went fishing. And one day I didn't pay attention to the tide, and I got stuck in the back of the flat, bottomed out in a kayak. Okay.
Yes.
With no gun in the kayak. I had to walk in waist deep mud.
I was gonna say the mud.
Dredge. And
oysters and shells.
Oh, dude, it was so from that point forward. What I told myself is the next time I go out there, I'm going to do. I'm not even going to bring a fishing rod. I'm just going to go paddle, and I'm going to go around, and I'm going to figure out where the paths are. And then, dude, as soon as I did that, it was like money.
Yeah, everything was money. It's tough to sit out there for 4.5 hours and mark 10-pound fish all day long, and not cast at them. But that you're out there to learn that bottom, that topography, or where they're at, how they're set up. And sometimes you just got to get out there and spend time. It's all about time, getting out there and going fishing.
And Dave, you were talking about Jacksonville being way up that one tournament you had.
Yeah.
I had a tournament in 2013 It was a Jacksonville kayak tournament. It was the biggest tournament at that time for kayaks. It was like 750 kayaks in it.
Jesus.
And maybe not 700. There was probably around 600 something.
Dude, that'd be a crazy thing to see.
Dude, well, the thing is we didn't all fish in the same waters either. It's all shotgun, so it's not or Roadrunner. It's not shotgun. And dude, we went out pre-fishing, had an awesome time. Everything was fine. Well, that tide hit, dude, and it went my fishing hole that was here with a bank up here to me. I'm in the water, and the top of the bank is here. That bank was now 4 feet below me. Below me. The bank. There was no land whatsoever.
We would sit in the mouth of the creeks. We'd sit at the mouth of the creeks and catch the fish sitting out. And then as soon as that water would get in the grass, those fish were gone.
Oh, dude!
Get up in that grass and start feeding on crab. And
well, there's no
move back
highway.
in the grass with them. And then as soon as that water starts dropping, you'll see them start all heading out. You need to start turning around and start heading out too.
Yeah, no, because it seemingly dumps faster than it fills up all the time.
Oh yeah,
especially if the wind's going with the tide, then you're screwed.
Yeah, no, it falls quick. I've like I said, I got back into a creek and had fun. My school disappeared on me. I was still catching singles. Come around the corner and it was just straight mud. Jeez. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a long wait. It was about a 5-hour wait.
Oh,
there.
That sucks.
Yeah.
No one likes
right. So next week we've got Mike Krause, Okeechobee Fishing Headquarters.
We've got
Tuesday.
We've got JB Vector Hooks on Thursday.
Yeah, and he's gonna be here. Well, he won't be here, but he's gonna be here on this screen. But
I'm excited to talk to the mastermind behind these.
He ain't no mastermind. Can't even figure out how to buy a computer. He texted me just a little bit ago. Hey, so what day are you going to pick this up for me? Because he's buying one, having it here.
Yep, he bought it.
Yeah, I got to pick it up Saturday or something. I'm going to get it all set up for him. Do some things.
Yep, we're coming up to see Andrew next week. We'll be there Tuesday.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Cool.
Wish you could come, Joe. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day I'll have time. Not with 3 kids and a full-time job and NextFish and fishing.
I got 3 kids and a full-time job and NextFish. And
yeah, but you are the headquarters. Like
I don't get any fishing done though.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's a problem soon that will be solved.
Yes.
But for those that do get out and fish, don't forget Skunk Apes, 15% off.
SKA 15.
Come on, fastestassassin.com, guys. Come on, get you.
I am gonna go get some sleep because.
Yep.
Me too, man.
I've lost
5
my
o'clock in the
mind.
morning comes early.
When?
5.
Ah, that's nothing. I'll be up at 4:59. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, I'm set my alarm for
I'm
4:58.
glad you two are. I'm gonna be up probably about 8.
Oh, hate you. I ate up on my 3rd cup of coffee, Dave.
I'll probably get up around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Go ahead and jump on the road. And
the problem with that is on my off days, I still get up early as hell. Like you just become
one of these days. I'm just gonna swing by and just have a dog whistle and just whistle it outside of your house at 5 in the morning.
I will let you know, and I am man enough to admit this. My wife is a sniper. She shoots her SIG P226 9mm deadly better than me, and I'm a good shot. But my wife is sniper.
Dang!
Just to give you a heads up.
Might not want to do that now.
You might not want to do that because when it comes to the wife and sleep, you might get in trouble.
Hey,
even at my house, I'll just come out with a baseball bat and beat you.
You won't see me. I'm a ninja. You won't see me.
And
Listen, dude, look at this long leg.
Mari knows. Mari's
everything, okay?
Hey, look. Mari's probably still got a knot on his shin from the wife back in the day. Because when she get ornery with it, or you get ornery with her, and she get all upset, she kick you in the shin, drop your ass.
Hey, see what he's saying, man.
Mari knows. She's dropped some big boys back in the day, man. A swift kick to the shin.
That's funny. Shout out to Jay, man. That's a cool guy. Cool guy.
Yeah, dude. No, he's good people.
He's almost one of those people that has so much. Like, where do you even start with this guy? Like, we could have talked to him until Andrew passes out.
Oh, like, dude, it's gonna be soon too.
Yeah. But guys, until next time, until Tuesday, tight lines. Get you some Bass Assassin.
See you.
Okay. We'll see you. Peace.
Good night, guys.